Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Ladia and you're watching Mimi Made It by Ladia. Well, thank you so much for stopping by my channel again. Today I am going to make a centerpiece, and it is going to be a long centerpiece. It's going to be nice and low. And what I'm going to use for this centerpiece is some of the flowers to kind of usher in the autumn weather that's going to be coming in shortly. And that's with some beautiful sunflowers. Look at that. Now these are not fresh sunflowers, they are artificial or faux if you want to use that term. So that's what I'm making everything out of, and using the faux flowers. I like to use at least 3 different types of greeneries when I do my floral arrangements, whether they're real or whether they're not real. It just adds a lot of texture to it. So I've got some real pretty eucalyptus, you can see that right there. And then I have something that's really pretty. I just don't know what the name of it is, but it's got some really nice little tips, red tips, green in there as well, and that's going to give a little bit of color variation in this centerpiece. And then I have some boxwood, and the boxwood is mostly green, give it some more greenery in there, but then the tips come out to be a little bit lighter green, so that again is going to mix up very nicely within this centerpiece. It's going to be a low centerpiece. It's going to be perfect for using for your dining room table, something like this if you're going to be outside, nice and low, so that again you can have good conversation with your guests while you're having a meal. Would also work very well on a credenza or in the middle of a dining room table, and that is where this finished product is going to go. I already have someone that it is has a brand new home once I'm done completing it, and I will also have this in my Etsy store, and I'll have that information at the end of this video. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, and what I did was I cut some of the foam to fit right down in here. I already added one piece in here. I glued it down in here because since I'm doing this for a customer, I want to make sure that everything stays put. So I'm going to do the same thing for this. What I'm going to do is just add some glue and just put it down in here and let that just kind of dry a little bit. I'm going to add some of this on the side. Just kind of stuff it down in there a little bit, and that's just so it'll cover up those edges. Okay, so I got that filled up in there and around. And I'm going to put a little bit on the top. Not too much right now, because once I start putting the glue with the florals on there, it'll stick. At the end, I'll come in and fill in if there's any spots that I need to with some more of the moss, but right now this is what I've got for you. Start with my greenery first, and I think that's what I'm going to do. I want to have some of the greenery that's going to hang out over, since this is going to be a low item. So I'm going to start with this. And I'm going to start at my corners and just push that right down in there. I'm going to grab another piece, and I cut a few of them right before I started, just to kind of make things go a little bit quicker. So I'll just go back in and cut some more pieces as needed. And then just push this up, go in with my glue, and then I'm going to go over to this corner and just push that right down in there. And you see how it's starting to hang down? I'm going to go to the other corner and push that all the way down in the foam. And I got another piece that I want to use over here. And I'm going to put it right here in this corner. And it's already starting to fill in on each corner there. Now I'm going to come in with some of the boxwood that I have. I'll push those up just a little bit, or I'll just pull that off. Yeah. And then I'm going to come into the middle with the boxwood. Give it a little bit of dip in the glue, and then come over to the other side and stick that down in there. So it's just really starting to fill in, and then as I go around, I'm going to fill in more. The next thing I want to come in with is the eucalyptus. This is a really pretty eucalyptus. I'm going to clip off some little pieces because again I want this to be low. Dip that in some glue. And then I'm going to start coming around here. Now I'm just putting them in, I'm sticking them in at an angle at this point and not straight up and down. So I've got some on that side and I'm going to come in on this side with another piece of eucalyptus and just slant that right down in there. And I'm going to add just a little bit of a piece right here in this corner, kind of fill that out. My smaller pieces, I'll kind of keep those over to the side. My longer pieces will fill in more lengthwise. So I'm going to come over here with a little glue on that piece. And the nice thing about the artificial flowers is that you can manipulate them and kind of turn them and twist them so everything can look nice and natural. There are a lot of different ways that this could have been designed. Another design that I think I like a lot too is to just come up with the sunflowers and then just kind of fill in underneath. But again, I'm doing something very low. This is what my customer requested. So I want to give them exactly what they're asking for. And I'm going to come in some more around the side, the lengthwise, with some more of the boxwood. Gotta watch out for that glue. So I came in on the other side with the boxwood because I want to make it sure everything is balanced. What I do on one side, I want to go ahead and fill it in on the other side too. I'm going to come in with a piece on this side, stick it right down in there. Make sure I get it really good within that foam. And then I got another piece that I'm going to use on the other side and go in that way with it. Just want to lift that up and let you see it. More and more is starting to fill in there. And I'm just going to keep working in my greenery as I go along just to kind of fill it up some more. And then I'm going to start adding the florals. Some more boxwood right in there. Stick that down in there real good. And then I'm going to come in with another piece of boxwood right on this side. Now I need to fill in some more along the lengthwise of it with some boxwood. So I need to cut just a couple more pieces to fill those in. And then I'm going to come in some more with this pretty one that I don't know what it is, but it's certainly pretty. More glue. And just add that right in there. And I'm going to clip, oh, I've got a few pieces over here that oh yeah, nice piece over here that I can use. I'm going to add this piece right in here. So I'm just building a nice bed for the flowers that I'm going to add. So just fill everything in. Pick this up and give you another look at it. Still got a few things that I need to fill in there. So I'm going to start with these sunflowers. Beautiful. Keeping these nice and low. I already cut them at an angle so to make it easier to put them down in here. I'm going to start with one of my focal flowers right in there. And just going to turn it. And then I'm going to start with adding another one. And I'm just going to vary where I put them in, because again, natural looking florals are just so inviting. Add another one. Now I take off these leaves, but I do come back in and tend to add them. So I'll just leave those to the side until I need them. And got another one right on this end. Now I'm going to start coming in with some contrast of a flower to kind of pull in some of the red that's in here. Smaller flowers, so they'll go down a little bit further down in there. And then I've got a yellow one too. Just like to have a lot of contrast. I'm just sticking it right down in there. I'm going to cluster a couple of them together. This one has a little bit of both. A little bit of the red in the center and some of the yellow on the outside. See how that's starting to fill in there? And I'm going to come over to this side because, again, whatever I do on that side, I'm going to do on this side. The difference is I'm going to alternate the color of the flower that I'm going to use. So I think I need to clip off a few more of these. And I keep the greenery on these too because that adds to fill everything up. Just push that up to the top. A little glue. And then just push that right down in there. So you've got some additional greenery in there that's going to help to kind of cover everything up on the bottom of the centerpiece. And I'm going to put one right down here in this corner. I'm going to turn that and show that to you so you can see it just a little bit better. I've got the birds. I'm outside. I've got birds everywhere. They're flying in the trees and it's kind of doing their own thing. Right now I'm going to keep filling in with some of these smaller flowers. And I'm going to put one right up under that. And I'll add one right over here. A couple of those together. And then I'm going to come in with some more of the yellow ones. It's really pretty contrast in the color. I think I'm going to add one right there. Hold that up again so you can see how it's filling up in that corner. You know, I think this would also look very nice in a windowsill. If you have one of those sinks that has a window in front of it, and you could just put this right on the windowsill. It's not too tall. I think I want to add another sunflower in here. This one I'm going to put even lower. Cut that down a little bit more. Some more of the hot glue. And I'm going to stick it over here. So right now I have 4 in here, so I'm going to go ahead and add one more on the other side. And then I'll start filling in some more with the greenery. And the thing about actually gluing everything together is that you kind of commit. Usually when I do this, if I'm just doing it for myself, I may not use glue because I may take it apart and use some of the items maybe in another project. But once you get that glue in there, you're pretty much committed. And now I can manipulate the greenery that I added on the side of it. And then I can go back in and add more greenery. For me, you just can't have too much greenery. So you can kind of see how by adding and layering in there, it's just really adding and filling everything in for you. I'm going to add a little bit more eucalyptus. The nice thing about making your own centerpieces is that you can pretty much use whatever colors that you want. And with fall coming in, starting to change, you can bring in the nice warm colors, the oranges, the yellows, and then you can also come in with a lot of the deeper colors too. Let's add some more of these smaller flowers, just because I think I love the way the color comes in. I'm just going to add one right there. And then I'm also going to add another one over there. So I'm going to cut a more deeper orange color. And fill that one right in there. So one thing that you may notice, like I said, I didn't put a lot of the moss on top because I knew that by adding the flowers along with the greenery, that was going to fill everything up and hold everything in there for me. And this is starting to look like something that you just pulled out of your flower garden. And that's the way I like for everything to look nice and fresh and inviting. A perfect addition to your table. It's like a bouquet in a box. And then I just kind of look at it, kind of go over it and see where I want to add maybe a little bit more color. I'm going to add some more of the eucalyptus. I've got some sticking up right there. I'm going to add a little piece right in there just so that everything will be nice and cohesive and pleasing and balanced. Just find a spot down in there and just punch it right in there. And then this will be ready to ship off to its new owner. I think I need just a little bit more boxwood. Put some more of the lighter greenery on this side. There we go. I kind of do a check to make sure that everything is down in there nicely, very secure in there. And then if I want to go back and add some more flowers, which I believe I'm going to do, I'm going to flip this around and add a few more flowers on this side. Because I have a lot of orange on that side, I'm going to come in with some more of the yellow flowers. Take this and just push that greenery up. A little bit of glue. And I'm going to stick this one right down in here. And it's going to give me the greenery that I need to fill in some more of that spot. So it'll be nice and natural looking. Which, that's what you want. You want your things to look nice and natural. When you buy them from the store, take your time, take a good look at them. Make sure that they match what you want, the colors that you want. And that everything is giving you that very natural vibe from nature. So I've got my pieces that are hanging out on the side that I like quite a bit. And then I've got some pieces that are right in here, and I'm going to just manipulate and fill in as needed. Okay, so now I have my pick machine. Do you remember those leaves that I told you that I might need at the end of the video? So I'm going to use these now, and I'm going to just put this into my pick machine. And then I have something that I can add, nice and sturdy, down in here. Now I put a little bit of glue on that too, so that this will also stay down in there. So I've got everything nicely filled in there. The rest of the leaves from the sunflowers, I've got those in there. Got everything nice and covered, nice and pretty, ready to go off to its new owner, ready to go into my Etsy store, and ready for you to take home yours as well. This is the beginning of my falling into autumn. I'm going to be doing tablescapes, and when I do tablescapes, I also like to do a centerpiece to go with it. So stay tuned for my next video, and you will see how this was added to the tablescape. Well, thank you so much for stopping by my channel again. I hope that you like my content. I hope that you like the way that I present my content to you. And if you do, certainly hit the like button. It means so much to my channel. And go ahead and subscribe so you can see more of my upcoming videos, especially the falling into autumn series that I'm going to be doing for you. Well, you know, wherever you go and whatever you do, as always, be blessed. Thank you, and bye-bye.